Hello friends, I am Dr. Vikram Jaggi. I am the Medical Director at the Asthma, Chest and Allergy Centers. These are centers in Delhi and in Gurgaon, India. These are specialized centers dealing with asthma, allergy, chest diseases in their entirety, from diagnosis, investigations, treatment, management, patient education, etc. So today we will be talking about an important aspect of asthma management, which is the proper use of various inhalers. Chronic diseases which are there to stay, which don't go away. For example, the three common chronic diseases: diabetes, high blood pressure and asthma. They require precautions, lifestyle changes and medication to be taken regularly for them to be properly controlled so that they do not harm the body in future. All of them require some kind of medication to be taken on a regular basis. Whenever the question of taking a medicine regularly comes, the patient balks. He doesn't like it inherently. This is human nature. It's very understandable. But if you pause and think, then you realize that it is better to take the medication and control the disease rather than suffer the consequences of the problem. Medicines have good effects and medicines have some side effects also. But a balance has to be struck. Fortunately for asthma, we have methods to deliver the medicine right into the air tubes where it is required, rather than going through the body in the form of a pill, etc. For example, in blood pressure, the problem is only in the blood vessels, in the arteries. But the medicine has to be taken by mouth. It will go to the blood vessels and everywhere else also. Do good things in the blood vessel and maybe some mischief at other areas. There is no other way. There is no way possible to give the medicine only in the blood vessels. But in asthma, we are fortunate that medicines can be delivered right into the air tubes through inhaled means. So that's good. What is not so good is that this delivery of medication becomes patient dependent. If the patient takes it nicely, the medicine will go all the way in and work. The medicine is only going to work where it reaches. Many times asthmatics are taking the medicine but not taking it properly. As a result, the medicine is going superficially but not deep into the lungs. They are getting some benefit but not total benefit. This is my considered opinion, that asthmatics, if they have to get the best out of treatment, if they have to control their asthma, they must learn the proper way of taking and continuously keep on taking it that way. No amount of negligence in that is going to cost them heavy. So the good things about inhalers are actually quite obvious. The medicine goes directly over there, the dose becomes very less. For example, to be taken by mouth, it might be 50. The same effect can be got by 1 if you just take it directly into your air tubes, because out of that 50, only 1 would have reached over there. 49 would go here and there. It works very quickly. If you take a tablet through your mouth, it will take at least an hour or so to start working. Inhaled medication will start working within 5 minutes. There are no side effects because the medicine is going where it is required. It's not going here and there. There are no side effects and we need not worry about side effects. So these are the good things about inhalers. Let us take all of them one by one. Let us first come to the one which is most commonly used, which is called a meter dose inhaler. A puff, an asthma puffer or an asthma puff, which works like this, which everybody recognizes. This is the one which is most commonly used in the world. This is the cheapest inhaler device. Patients like it a lot, although it has some problems. It was also the first inhaled medication for asthma, device for asthma. It was discovered invented in 1955-56. How it was discovered is a little bit of an interesting story. I think I will share it with you. In 1955 in US, in America, There is a big company called 3M, which is a multinational based in USA, which makes a lot of consumer products. It's a very, very big company. The president of that company, his daughter, a 13-year-old girl, she had asthma. And in those days, she used to take the medication through a pump, which was connected to tubings, which was connected to a glass bottle where the medicines had to be poured first, etc. It was very complicated kind of a thing, which would deliver the medicine into the lungs. So this girl came up to the father and said, "Papa, why is it not possible to make my inhaler as simple as Mama's perfume spray?" That affected the father. He called his research team to research into this, and within a year, in 1966, they had a device like this, which has pretty much remained unchanged from that time onwards. So we have to thank for this the initiative and the ingenuity of a 13-year-old girl, and the father's persistence, and of course his position and ability to create something which is so good for asthma patients. How is this to be used? I'll just demonstrate to you. They come with a cap. You remove the cap, shake it a few times, keep your finger and thumb ready on it. There should be no fumbling. You should know exactly when and how to actuate it. Breathe out completely. Hold for 10 seconds by the watch, and then let go. Let us understand all the steps involved in this. There are many steps involved. For the medicine to go from the bottom of this canister to the bottom of your lungs, many steps are involved. And if you make a mistake in any crucial area, it is possible that you may not get any medicine into your lungs. Shake, breathe out completely. Although we are concentrating on breathing in the medicine, we have to prepare. We have to make our lungs empty. You cannot fill something which is already full. So empty out your lungs completely and only then start inhaling. So in breathing out, when an asthmatic breathes out casually, this is likely to happen. The air tubes will close. He'll start coughing, sometimes coughing violently. And he'll become afraid of breathing out, and he will continue to take without breathing out, which means the medicine goes only air. So you have to breathe out, and the trick is to breathe out like against pursed lips. Completely out, use your belly muscles, and once completely out, place it in your mouth or 1 inch away from your mouth, actuate that thing, and just at that time start inhaling deeply and slowly. The important word here is slowly. Deeply and slowly all the way inside, and then hold it there. By the watch, hold it for 10 seconds. If you imagine 10 seconds in your mind, you will let go in 3 or 4 seconds. So see the watch, practice what is the meaning of 10 seconds, because the medicine has to settle down over there. Taking it in and just breathing out is like wastage, is like swallowing a tablet and then vomiting it out. Minimum time required for the medicine to settle down into the air tubes is 6 seconds. Preferable is 10 seconds. So hold for that long time. While breathing in, throw your head back like that so that your throat and your air tubes, which are otherwise at 90 degrees, they come in one line. Otherwise, taking like this means the medicine is getting stuck at the back of the throat. Some common mistakes. The most common mistake, which we have already alluded to, is not breathing out. So I won't repeat that. The next common is failure to synchronize the breathing in with the actuation, either too early or too late. Let's see what it means. Breathing in too early, actuating late, so that air is going inside rather than medicine. Not correct. Breathing in too late, the medicine goes out and you don't receive the medicine. Synchronize properly. Another common mistake is, it's hard for you to tell what was the mistake. The mistake was that this inhaler was in front of my teeth. All the medicine is stuck here, I am getting zero medicine. Another common error is not to mouth rinse after the inhalation. This medicine or any other inhaled medication, at most 10 or 20% will go inside and 80 or 90% is stuck and wasted in the throat. It is inevitable. It has to happen. But it should not remain there. For one, it is of no use. And number two, it will create some local mischief, fungal infection and hoarseness. It will get absorbed, it will get mixed up in the saliva and get absorbed into our bloodstream. We are being so careful that how many inhalers should I take? If you don't mouth rinse, you are taking 9 more doses, so to say, through your saliva for no rhyme or reason. So just mouth rinse and get rid of whatever is stuck over here. This what goes inside does good things and doesn't get absorbed from the respiratory tract into the bloodstream, or not significantly at least. What is in the mouth will quickly get absorbed. So get rid of that. So these are some of the common mistakes which patients make, which you are not to make, and this is the proper use of inhaler. In some situations, it is hard to take the inhaler just like this. It is hard to coordinate. For example, in small children. So for them, we have something which is called a spacer. This is a usual spacer. It is a holding chamber. You put the thing over here, breathe out like that. The baby mask can be used for children who are who are less than the age of 4 years or so. 2 to 4 years, for example. A spacer alone can be used for children who are between the age of 4 to 6 years. Like that. This has to be kept clean. It can be washed. It can be rinsed with soapy water and then washed with water. That doesn't allow the medicine to get stuck on it. However, if you just wash it with water and then clean it like this or dry it with a towel, electrostatic charges will come on this. This becomes in fact like a magnet. It is counterproductive. The medicine will get stuck on this and you will get very little of it. So these are the spacers and the baby mask. So these are certain additions to meter dose inhaler. Let's also talk a little bit about other kind of inhalers, which are dry powder inhalers. This medicine inhalers is actually in liquid form, and the spray comes out in the form of a mist. Over here we have the medicine in powder form. There is a tiny bit of medicine in this. What you can see, about 2% of this is medicine, 98% of this is sugar, lactulose. Let's talk about a rotahaler, which is one of the very common and very simple devices. The transparent part of this goes in, all the way in, level to this, rotate, breaks, rest everything is same, breathe out, all the way in, hold it there for 10 seconds, let go, mouth rinse, throw it away. Don't swallow what you have rinsed. It should go out of the body. So this is one way of taking it. There can be many other devices, some of which are rather complicated. These devices have their own set of instructions. Learn from the doctor the proper instructions how to use it. Demonstrate to the doctor that you have in fact learnt it. Every time you visit the doctor, take your inhaler device with you, show him what you are doing. Many times you will find there is a problem, the doctor will point it out, and your inhaler technique will become better and better, and likewise the medicine goes inside. Mouth rinsing after each inhalation is extremely important. For the meter dose inhaler, the speed of inhalation has to be slow. For this, it has to be as fast as possible. This is crucial. This is very important. For this is a good speed. For this is a good speed. Learn that from your doctor and practice it. There are some other methods also of giving inhaled medication which are not patient dependent. These are all patient dependent. Nebulizer is non-patient dependent. It will deliver the medicine whether the patient is learning, not learning, cooperating, etc. It has its uses. For very small children, children less than 3 years of age, we cannot expect the child of less than 3 years of age to understand all of this. So the only way of delivering medicine is through a nebulizer, where a machine will compress air and deliver it like this, which can be nebulized by this chamber. The medicine is poured into the chamber and it gets nebulized. And then this can be inhaled either through a mask like this or through a mouthpiece. Masks are preferred by children. Adults and bigger children generally prefer to take it with a mouthpiece, but it is individual preference. The medicine comes in this form, in a plastic respule. They earlier used to be in glass, which used to sometimes hurt the patient. So how to use it? Wash your hands, take out the respule, twist it. Let me show it to you. Take this out, twist it like this, pour the contents of the medicine into the chamber, all of them, start the machine, put on the mask and inhale deeply. Inhale, exhale. A lot of the medicine is going out, don't worry about it, it is expected to go out. Keep inhaling deeply. One respule of such is going to finish in about 7-8 minutes if the machine is working all right. Sometimes the doctor may ask you to put 2 inside. It is correct to mix them, most of the medicines. Confirm with your doctor, but most medicines can be mixed. This then medication goes all the way deep inside. So it's very useful for children, for elderly people who cannot coordinate, for asthmatics whose asthma is very severe. It is a good device to carry. And for any asthmatics whose asthma is brittle, is unpredictable, goes bad very quickly, it is good to keep in the house so that when the requirement is there, you don't panic, you know what to do, you can do this in your house. So this is a sort of a security net or a confidence booster. This requires certain care. It is possible for the tubing to get infected inside and the infection to go inside you. So clean them thoroughly. This one can be cleaned in vinegar and water. 1 part of white vinegar, 2 or 3 parts of water. Keep it inside that for about 20 minutes and then rinse it with water. When you open this chamber, you will find a small cap like this. This is crucial for it to work. This very often gets lost while cleaning. So don't lose it. Put it back. Be careful about that. So this is the care of that. Sometimes there is some liquid sticking into the tubing. That can be very easily taken out by doing this. So the thing will come out. Towards the end of your inhalation with this, the liquid will start getting finished and it will start sputtering. Then if you do like this, you will get some more of the medicine which was sticking to the walls of the chamber inside you. So these are the use of the nebulizer. So we have discussed today the proper use of many kinds of inhaler devices. Asthma medication given through inhaled form is very, very safe, but it must go inside. So the message for you from me today is learn the correct way of taking your inhaler and continue to practice like that so that your asthma becomes fully controlled. This is my good wishes and this is my message for you today. Thank you.